Well, Senator Pauline Hanson joins me now. Senator, thanks for your time. We're constantly told, follow the science. So why aren't we in Australia following the science and banning puberty blockers for children just as the UK have?
There is no science here in Australia with regards to puberty blockers, and they say it's reversible. It's not. It's irreversible. There's total ignorance about the safety and effects of medical interventions, what they're doing here in Australia. Do you know that they're referring 15-year-olds are being referred for double mastectomies, and yet they will not listen to the people. The parents came to see me, the mothers came to see me to say the impact it's had on their children, and they refused. 5 times I put it up for just an inquiry into it, and they refused to do it. It's just unbelievable. And you're right about the 16-year-olds on social media, but they won't have an inquiry into this. It's happening around the world, whether it be in New Zealand, Finland, UK, other countries now are starting to realise the impact it's having on the children. And you know that here in Australia, the gender clinics in public children's hospitals in Brisbane, Perth, Melbourne, Sydney and other cities, it's introduced experimental medicine as routine treatment without any high-quality data. That's what they're doing. And the damage it's doing to these kids. And then they start taking these hormone treatments and puberty blockers. They're on it for the rest of their lives. So it can cause diabetes, bone density, libido, sexual function, the whole lot. And these kids are going to destroy their lives. And what annoys me is there was a 12-year-old, the courts put this 12-year-old on it because the girl wanted to be a boy. For the fact is that he was worried about getting an Adam's apple and growing hair. So the courts put him on that. You know, where are the parents in all this? Well, why aren't parents instead of trying to be kids, you know, friends to the children?
Senator, I take your point, where are the parents on this? But our senators, most of them would be parents. Why the reluctance on this issue? I mean, they're so concerned about children's safety, except when it comes to this one issue. What is the problem?
Because it's the LGBTQ plus all the other letters that goes with it, James. That's why it's the left versus the right, because they want them to have whatever they want to. There's been the fight over the years, whatever it's been, you know, gay marriage, all the rest of it. So they feel they have their right about this. They don't want the Conservatives to... It's become so political, and it's about the money as well. You know, I was told that they make about $150,000 out of per operation that they may do with this, and then it's become a $200 billion industry. That's what it's worth. So you follow the money trail. What happens with this? And all these hormone treatments and drugs that these pharmaceutical companies are pumping out. There used to be only a few gender clinics in America. Now it's over 300, dotted all over the place. And yet they won't listen to it. So, you know, the influence that people have over the politicians, these politicians are brain dead, and I get so angry with it, James, because this is about children's lives we're destroying.
Yeah. It's so amazing. I mean, we're talking about the Keir Starmer government in the UK. I mean, they are pretty left, and even they've seen sense on this issue. I hope and pray our politicians do soon as well. I want to stay on politics, and I know there's no love lost between you and your favourite fellow Senator Mehreen Faruqi, but she's had to remand her chief of staff, or reprimand rather, her chief of staff for suggesting Jews themselves may have firebombed the Melbourne synagogue in a false flag attack. I wanted to ask you, how can Anthony Albanese still think it's okay to give preferences to the Greens when they are continually sowing division in the community? If Anthony Albanese is committed to unity and to bringing the culture together, shouldn't the first thing he do to say we will not deal with the Greens because all they do is divide?
No, he won't do it because he wants the preferences to win the seats, and they need the preferences shore up from the Greens for preference deals to actually win the seats. You know, all these years Labor's done no deals with me. They will not even talk to One Nation about preferences. They always put us last because I'm supposed to be racist. This woman who wants equality for all Australians, wants accountability. And so anyway, that's been their tagline with me. They won't deal with the Greens. And, you know, the staff, my opinion, reflects what their employer does. Look at everything that she's done. over the years. I'm not going to go into it. I don't need another court case. But anyway, I don't have any time for that woman, for what she stands for, her politics. I hear what they say on the floor of Parliament. It disgusts me, and it's a real shame. I wish people would wake up and understand what the Greens actually stand for. And they're so un-Australian. It's unbelievable. And, you know, to say that about the Jews, and they've committed this themselves, you know, to get some, I don't know, I think it's ridiculous. I think it is a shame. Any other political party possibly would have sacked him. He won't get the sack because, you know what, I think they're in line with their way of thinking.
Yeah, well, I mean, that is a very good point. I mean, this is the Chief of Staff of the Deputy Leader of the Greens who says that, and he's been reprimanded. I want to talk about another thing I don't understand, Senator, that the federal government departments have forked out $650,000 on artwork, dance performances and exhibitions in the past year, while the Australian Embassy in the US spent almost $1 million on 5 pieces of art. Now, the Daily Telegraph has done some great digging on this. They also discovered more than $330,000 was spent signing up government departments to a gender equality coalition in order to advance diverse women in leadership and to build respectful workplaces. Where's the respect for taxpayer money in a cost of living crisis?
It is. James, I'm so over it. The waste of money. You know, I even at my time in life, I actually watch my dollars and where we spent them, and I want value for my money, as I do for the Australian people. But the bureaucrats and these people, the politicians, they lose all contact with the people. I don't think they fully understand how people are doing it tough out there. I mean, so how hard they are. I fought for, you know, for the aged people in nursing homes and other care packages to get nutritious food. So I was grateful that the government has given them a $37 million package now and help these aged people get nutritional food. But they've had to go cap in hand begging for it, and I had to go and speak to the minister about it as well. They've got no concept of taxpayers' monies, and yet the people out there keep voting for these politicians who have no regard for you, take you for granted. They don't care about you. They don't go without, and it's a complete waste of money. But this isn't the first time. You have a look at it over the years, and I've looked into this before, the amount of money that they have wasted on these programs or people, $65,000 to look at surfing, the monies that they've wasted in the arts program is unbelievable, and it just disgusts me.
Yeah, well,
disgusts me.
Angus Taylor from the Coalition reckons the Coalition, if they get into government, will be able to save $100 million on labour waste. I reckon that's just the money that's fallen down the back of the couch. So there you go. Pauline Hanson, I appreciate your time tonight. Thanks for joining me.